everyone, welcome back to the My Coach for Life YouTube channel. Now then, today I'd like to talk to you about how we use and interact with our social media accounts. And it's a funny old thing because whether you enjoy Twitter, whether you enjoy Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of the social media platforms that we spend an amount of time on, we perhaps didn't consciously decide how we were going to interact with them and what we can actually do with them. So today I'd like to talk to you about the idea of creating our social media accounts for a specific reason. Now this idea came up through one of my Coach for Life personal development pods. So those are groups of individuals. We meet on a periodic basis and we just talk and discuss and share all things personal development. And we ended up kind of finding our way into a conversation all about our social media. And we kind of ended up talking about two specific questions. So what value do I gain from my social media accounts? Whether that's Facebook, whether that's LinkedIn, whether that's TikTok. But also, what value would I like to gain from my social media accounts? And one of the members in that group said, well, do you know what I've done recently? I've actually given my social media accounts a reason. And then I've gone away, I've kind of done some spring cleaning in those particular social media accounts. And now I've got a reason for each of those platforms and a reason to go and spend time on them. So if we whiz back a little bit, so around about early 2000s, I think about 2004-ish, the introduction of social media, which was MySpace, for those of you who remember MySpace. And this kind of just happened to us. There were no real guidelines or like this for a particular reason. And it's kind of just as we've expanded over nearly 20 years of social media being in existence, we kind of just got this multiple platforms that we've probably not really consciously or deliberately decided why we want to be on that platform. We kind of just get hooked in and then spend an amount of time on there and sometimes wonder, well, why am I spending so much time on there? And that's probably a story for another video. But for today, what we're going to think about is actually, I've got a number of social media accounts. What could I benefit from? What would make each of those really, really valuable? So, for example, the member that shared this idea, he uses Facebook purely for groups that he's part of and actual genuine friends. Because I'm guessing if you're watching this and you have a Facebook account, you've probably got friends who are just what you might deem Facebook friends. So what he decided was actually I'm gonna narrow that right down to genuine friends who I want to stay connected with. I want to see what they're up to, and I'm happy for them to see what I'm up to. And then Twitter, he decided that Twitter was going to be a place for personal development, and therefore just spent time just looking at that small section of people, authors, speakers, that he really, really enjoys listening to or watching or what they share. And then Instagram for him was more about enjoys going to the gym and therefore wanted to spend time looking at individuals that were kind of motivational, were sharing things about workouts and their transformation. So my offer for you today is, you are to a certain degree completely in charge of your newsfeed and what you want to see on your newsfeed. And over many, many years, we've all done the same thing. We've just hit the like button, we've started following certain things, and probably just got to a point where most of what you're seeing on your newsfeeds or what you're consuming isn't of any real value. So, process to go through here. First bit, decide what each platform is going to be used for. So for me, as an example, I love a number of writers on LinkedIn and I follow their work. I enjoy their articles, I enjoy their blogs. So for me, that's a place to go to. If I'm going to spend some time on there, I want to be consuming their particular information that they're sharing. So first port of call, decide what each platform is going to be used for. Second port of call, start with which one of those you're going to start your spring clean. Okay, So you've decided what the platform is going to be used for, then you're going to decide on one of them which you are going to start your spring clean. And then thirdly, and most importantly, start small with this. It may bring up some uncomfortable feelings of, oh wow, I'm going to unfriend that person, or I'm going to unfollow that particular person, or I'm going to leave that group. Okay, so starting smaller than you think you should. So for those of you who've not watched my video on that, this is a prime example of not going right into, right, I'm just going to go big and I'm going to stop that. I'm going to unfollow them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So there's a link to that video above. Please go and check that video out about starting smaller than you think you should. And then gently start to move forward to develop and create a news feed that genuinely provides some form of value from your time and attention on that platform. Hope that's been useful. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again next week.